What's up, guys? I'm back with another market update. I was going to wait a couple of days to make another video, but markets have just exploded to the upside. Yesterday, things were looking kind of questionable. I was talking about how I thought we could, well, my phone's not loading, but I was talking about how I thought we could be kind of topping out just in the short term on stocks like Nvidia, Robinhood, and then just the Qs, which is this chart I have pulled up right now, QQQ, NASDAQ. This is the 4-hour time frame. We were on this candle right here, I believe, when I made that video. And I was waiting for an opportunity to catch a short down here. And I did that, and I did pretty good on that, but I ended up closing it instead of holding it. I was gonna hold it for a couple of days, thinking we might get down here to this purple box, but it's a good thing I closed it because we ended up spiking right back up. So on that candle right there, on the smaller time frames, I kept seeing buyers stepping in, and we were just wicking back up. So I finally just modified my profit target, and I snagged like a couple $100 out of that or something, so that's good. And then I just got out because I was wanting to wait and see what happened. So once again today, let's go to the daily chart. Once again today, the NASDAQ just proved that you can't bet against it. Like, until you see price action screaming at you signs of weakness, you cannot bet against NASDAQ. RSI has been overbought on the daily time frame since May. We have literally been overbought on the daily since May. So a lot of people have been wrecked all through here just betting on a pullback. So the NASDAQ just grinds higher and higher and higher. And eventually we will get a pullback. You know, I was thinking something like what I have these yellow lines drawn here, but it looks like we're gonna keep grinding up even higher. So who knows when we'll finally get a pullback, but at some point we will. And let me go back to Nvidia, because I was talking about that yesterday. And let's see what Nvidia did. Nvidia grinded higher once again. So tons of volumes coming in. So I don't know how high things are gonna go, but you know, you just can't bet against it. It's proven itself once again. And then Robinhood, I'm assuming Robinhood is just going to keep pumping as long as crypto's pumping, because that's probably where most people are doing their crypto trading. A lot of retail traders that are just getting into it, people that just kind of dabble in it, or people that are YOLOing in. I'm assuming they're using Robinhood, so maybe Robinhood stock will just continue to grind through the rest of this crypto bull run. So, you know, markets are pumping like crazy. That's awesome. Here's another trade that I've been paying attention to. I've been trading Mara, however you pronounce it. It's Marathon Digital Holdings. They're one of the biggest institutional holders of Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes up, this stock usually rockets like crazy. You can see we've got a strong level up there at $30. And then last bull run, we actually hit 45 and then on up to like 83. You can see there. Now, I don't know if we're going to hit those levels again, but you know, that $30 level right there looks pretty promising. So $25, we could see some resistance, and then on up to $30. So that's what I'm thinking. And also, another good trade, in my opinion, this is not financial advice, but as long as Bitcoin is pumping, which I think we still have a pretty good amount of upside for Bitcoin this bull run before we start topping out. But IBIT right here, IBIT, this is the Bitcoin ETF, and you can see we got a huge bull flag on the daily right here. So based on that bull flag, you know, we could possibly hit $74 before the peak of the bull run. So that's something to look out for. And keep in mind, after this bull run is over and we see a huge pullback on Bitcoin in the crypto market, which we will probably over the next couple of years, keep in mind, this is a good way to invest in Bitcoin without actually having to deal with a crypto exchange. If you're not familiar with that, but you're familiar with buying stocks, then you can just do this on Webull, Robinhood, Charles Schwab, I think TD turned into Schwab, but Moo, TradeStation, pretty much any app that you can buy shares on, you can buy shares of this Bitcoin ETF. So keep that in mind. So at the bottom of the next bear market for crypto, that's probably what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking advantage of this ETF just to add to a stock portfolio, and I'll still be in crypto and building positions there at the bottom of the next bear market. But I will probably take advantage of this, and I'm currently doing some trading on this as well, just to catch some extra gains on the rest of this bull run. So something to keep in mind there. But let's hop over to Bitcoin and the crypto market. So right now, huge bull flag on the daily. RSI is overbought, but that doesn't really matter when Bitcoin's pumping in the final stages of the bull run. That doesn't matter. As you can see on NASDAQ, RSI sometimes doesn't matter on the higher time frames because it can stay overbought or oversold for a very long period of time if there's enough momentum. So don't trade based on that solely. So let's see what the 4 hours doing on Bitcoin. The 4 hours looking good. I was kind of thinking we might get a pullback, maybe down to this fair value gap, but Bitcoin popped right back up right there. I'm pretty sure it was one of these two candles here when I was making that video yesterday, and it was looking like it wanted to pull back one more time, but it just didn't happen. So, you know, we're getting some chop right here sideways temporarily, but I think we're going to push to the upside now. We may not get this pullback at all. So this looks like a perfect little bull flag pattern here. It looks bullish. We had some strong momentum right here. It's hard to see, but we had a good amount of volume right there. So we could just keep pushing. And this is the weekly chart. Huge weekly candle. So even if we did get a pullback and retrace part of that weekly candle, you know, the next several weeks are going to be crazy. There's so much momentum going to the upside now. So now's the time just to hang on to these positions. So let's hop over to, let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin. So altcoin season is probably pretty close to officially being started. Like, I don't think the charts are showing it just yet, or the altcoin indicators. I don't think they've actually showed it yet, but pretty soon it will officially be alt season. So we could see another pullback on Ethereum, because the last bull run, Ethereum, it's following the same exact path as it did the last time, and if it continues to do so, we'll see a pullback probably to around the top of this blue box or even this white line here. So we could keep grinding higher a little bit longer, but we will most likely see a pullback to that white line or the top of that blue box. So probably around 2,600 to 2,900 for Ethereum. So if you're YOLOing in right now on any of these coins or stocks at the peak of the market when we're at all-time highs on the NASDAQ, then, you know, you may be sitting in the red for a little while if you're just now getting in. So keep that in mind. Dogecoin breaking 21 cents, actually tapped probably 22 cents. Looking good. This blue line here is the 200-day moving average, so we're kind of getting rejected from that right now. So as overbought as everything is right now, it's kind of looking like we need some kind of little pullback or a little bit of sideways consolidation on some of these coins, but we don't have to get it. That's, you know, it doesn't have to happen, but, you know, keep in mind that it can pull back at any time when it's this overbought. Shiba Inu, it's also at the 200-day moving average. So in my opinion, it looks like these could see a slight pullback, maybe eventually retesting this purple line, which is the 20-day moving average. So we could see some kind of little flag pattern set up here, or just a quick drop or anything like that. Pepe, another cool meme coin. It outperforms most of the other meme coins. This one could be a huge runner for the rest of this bull run. So far it's outperforming a lot of them. So we could see a drop all the way back down to this red line or this orange line on Pepe, so keep that in mind. We've already broken above the 200-day moving average, but we could come down and retest it as those other ones are pulling back away from their 200-day moving average, so keep that in mind. Bonk has been killing it, and I actually had some bonk, and I think I did pretty good on it, but I ended up getting rid of it to add to some other positions. But you know, bonk has I think bonk might have even outperformed Pepe. I'd have to check the measurements, but as of right now, bonk is going insane. That's probably going to be a big runner this bull run. There's lots of room to go on it. Go over to the ape coin, and it looks like we're forming a nice pattern on ape coin. We're forming a bull flag pushing up against that 200-day moving average. So it could bust out through that 200-day moving average any day, and it should run very strongly when it does that. XRP has just exploded. A lot of people have been holding XRP, so I'm sure a lot of people are extremely happy right now. Now, when you see a chart like this with nothing but bullish candles pretty much, and you've pumped this hard, let's see, where's my measuring tool? Just from this breakout, we're up 43%. So when a stock or a crypto is up 43% from one pump, and you see this previous high back here, so you know that's like a psychological key level where people are going to kind of beware, be cautious. You know, we could see a pullback. I had this green line here from a few weeks ago in one of my videos, and I was talking about how we could come up here and tap this, pull back. So that part didn't happen exactly like I thought it would, but the breakout part did. So we went a little higher than what I thought we would. So now we should see the pullback and then the continuation. So it could be just a really quick, shallow pullback too, because right now we are in the main part of the bull run. So you can't bet on deep pullbacks. They may just be a quick, just a few percent down and then continue. You might see a few of those, then you might see a 40 or 50% pullback and then continue, depending on the market cap of the coin. XRP may not have deep pullbacks, but the smaller coins, they, you know, very likely can. So, you know, there's tons of other coins on here that are probably going to perform pretty well. I like the meme coins. It's what I started with, it's what I learned with, so I just continue to trade them. I do pretty good with those. But Ethereum has just went crazy. It's way overextended. So, you know, that's pretty much like a double top on that daily RSI. That doesn't have to mean anything, but it's something to be aware of. We could see a pullback any day, so keep that in mind. But in my opinion, now is just the time to hang on to the positions you've been building over the last couple of years or several months, depending on when you got in. But everything's looking really good, and I'm gonna make another video probably in a couple of days just to see if we get that pullback or if we just continue pumping on through here. All these charts look crazy. I'm leaning more towards more upside in the short term, and then maybe a pullback later on, because Bitcoin held up so good at that level, and the NASDAQ, you know, the Qs after that explosive push to the upside today, that's crazy. That, you know, I was not expecting that, but yesterday when I closed that trade and locked in my profits and we kept spiking back up, I was thinking, okay, either we're going to continue more to the upside, or a lot of these people betting on more upside are about to get screwed. So we ended up pumping higher to the upside. So a lot of people that got in short probably got wrecked. So, you know, we could squeeze on up for a while. It just depends. Just have to wait and see. But crypto's exploding. If you can hold on to your positions for 2 or 3 more months, it's going to be pretty awesome. This is what we've all been waiting for the last few years, and now it's happening. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video, share it if you know with other people that's into crypto and stocks and they're trying to learn and figure out what to do, because this stuff, it's really, really overwhelming at first when you start trying to learn it and trying to read these charts. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, you will get wrecked. Trust me. When everybody starts out, they get wrecked. You might have some beginner's luck, and then you get wrecked. It happens to everybody. That's just the way it is. You just got to keep on hanging in there, learn this price action, learn some key levels, and the less you know, the more you should just DCA and hold and just pay attention to the fear and greed index and maybe the 200-day moving average, something like that. So, you know, with the overall stock market index funds, the 200-day moving average is really important. So maybe check that out. But if you're mainly into crypto right now, you know, we're getting close to that extreme greed territory on the fear and greed index. So once we get into extreme greed and stay there for a little bit, you know, a pullback's going to be needed to kind of cool things down. So you can Google that, fear and greed index. It's for stocks and crypto, so depending on which one you're in, but that is one of the main things you need to pay attention to if you don't know how to read this price action. And even if you do know how to read price action, I still look at it too. The fear and greed index is one of the best things you can pay attention to. When the majority of people are getting super greedy and buying in, a lot of times that's either the top or it's a top, like a local short-term top, and then we get the pullback. It destroys all those people that got in last minute, and then it continues on after it wrecks all those people, and then vice versa. So when it's crashing down, everybody's scared, getting out of their positions, and then it reverses and goes to the upside. So it's a contrarian indicator. It's kind of, you know, you have to be fearful when people are greedy, greedy when people are fearful. You know, Warren Buffett quote, famous quote. So check that out, and you know, leave a comment below if there's anything you want me to cover in the next video. I'll make another one in a day or two, depending on what price action does. But for right now, you know, I'm just really excited that we're seeing this bullish momentum, and all the crypto trades are looking really good. So now it's just time to hold and just watch the accounts grow. So like the video, subscribe, and until next time, peace out.